Let me thank everybody for showing up to this event. A big part of your success in life is showing up. And y'all see those apples and oranges over there on the tray, on the table? That's fruit. Fruit comes from a tree. And so, I'm saying that to say, that fruit that can sustain your life and give life is only made possible because it came from a healthy tree. So your success in life is our success, your community success, and your failure in life is our failure. So the healthy tree of your community must bear healthy fruit. You in turn must do the same thing. Live a healthy life, grow strong, and so that you can produce healthy fruit. We're going to talk about, they asked me to do a drum workshop. And I'm going to do some of that, but I think more importantly, I only have like maybe 30 minutes, so I don't have a lot of time. So that being said, it's almost impossible to do a meaningful drum circle. I think, it made more sense to make it more educational, learn about some of the music, the instruments, and in the process, learn a little bit about world history, geography, and some different cultures that are part of Black history or Black culture globally. Some of it, deals with Black history on the world stage, is what I'm trying to say. So you'll see what I mean when we get deeper down the rabbit hole on that. So I'm going to put these drums up here to the front. At some point, I may ask for some volunteers to step up here. I only bought about, 5, maybe 6 drums. So, like I said, I'm gonna ask for some volunteers here shortly.
Need some help bringing them over?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, y'all can see I got a lot of bags, a lot of instruments, and this is really, just a fraction of what I really got, let's get started. So, these drums, all these instruments basically come from Africa. The question is, when did they come from Africa and how did they come from Africa? So each instrument has its own particular story, all right? A lot of these drums, well this one, on the far end, this one comes directly from Africa in real time. It's a boogaloo drum. They play it in West Africa and Senegal, and
Say that again.
the drum is called a boogaloo. Okay, and this is one version of it. The most traditional one has pegs around the sides of it. But this is still the same instrument, and it comes from Senegal, West Africa, and Gambia. These little bells here, got 2 different flavors of them. When you play music, and let me say this, one thing that unifies, one thing that we as black people usually, identify with is music, different types of music. And in that sense, music is almost like our true religion. But anyway, that being said, instruments like this, or your bells, or your claves, your sticks and things, your shakers, your maracas, shakeries, they're not appreciated and really learned, okay? But what they do is that they keep time. So this little instrument right here is really the secret hand behind the curtain. that runs the whole show. It's your timekeeper. It gives you your downbeat, your upbeat, your time, your tempo of the music. And because it's, you ever heard the expression, dynamite come in small packages? This is your dynamite right here. It's not as big as the drum, but the drum is actually following this instrument, your bells, okay? So that being said, if you're going to learn music and really learn it, and I'm not talking about just producing in a studio with digital electronic music. That music is based on this music, first of all. That music is born, it's the fruit of these instruments and this type of traditional music played by real people. But if you go the electronic route, so be it. But still, you can approach it with a better understanding. Okay? But the drums, the instruments, are following your timekeepers. And when people in the church, when church choirs and whatnot, they sing in church. I never grew up in church. I never went to church as a child. But I know enough. I know about it. But when you see people clapping their hands in church and things, they're just keeping the time. They clapping on the downbeat or the upbeat. They're substituting their hands with the function of this instrument. This bell is called it's got different names, in different cultures. In West Africa, they call it go-go bells. In Latin America, in Brazil, where this bell comes from, it comes straight from Africa, but this one comes from Africa through South America, through Brazil, which, by the way, most Africans coming to the New World during the Middle Passage went to just that country alone, just Brazil, and then another big chunk went to the islands, the West Indies. Islands like Jamaica, so on and so. It's probably like 50, 60, 70 different islands. So that being said, you can learn a lot about world history, a lot about geography through tracing music and or learning about the routes through which it comes to this world. Okay, this bell is played all over Brazil in the samba schools, played in the carnival. It's an agogo bell. The word didn't even change, but the Africans from Nigeria call it an agogo bell today in 2019. This is what they call it, the same word in Brazil. This is what it sounds like. It's got two heads, one at the top, one at the bottom. And you know what? What I find fascinating about this is that, unless we got some real bad poverty in America. Just driving on our way here to East Cleveland, you see some real bad poverty. Looks like it comes straight out of the middle of nowhere. And he's right here in Cleveland. But in Brazil, and in Cuba, and in Jamaica, and in Latin America, Colombia, and even in Africa, but Trinidad, you see some poverty that will make you know you see poverty. I mean, when you see it, it's self-evident. It speaks for itself. And one thing that fascinates me about that, I grew up poor. Sometimes I run into roaches and rats walking down the street. They return food, giving me back food they took out my house. But the one thing that fascinates me about when I think about this to myself, you see people that in spite of they don't define themselves by their circumstances. And one thing that if you wonder what do black kids in the hood do in different countries, they play music all day every day. They keeping music alive and hope is alive, and not only that, this is kind of like their basketball. How you see, our kids playing basketball here in the U.S., And that is, what a lot of people embrace here in this environment. But outside of here, music is number one. Okay, it's on top. And you got soccer and basketball and whatever else they're doing down there, playing sports, but music. You can be in the middle of straight up nowhere, and people, you would never know they were poor just by listening to the music they made. So this is your go-go bell. Moving on, got some more instruments from Brazil, some samba instruments. This one behind me is a tam-tam. It's got a real nice sound. There's probably a dozen different forms of samba music, but this is one of the forms. This instrument is played often. It's a bass instrument. Okay, it's called a tam-tam. And this is what it sounds like. Give you an idea, very beautiful instrument. It's one of the main foundation instruments in samba. Again, it sounds real good, but that instrument, like I said earlier, is following the bells, it's following your timekeepers, okay? So you're not just because you got a little rhythm, you don't play for the sake of just flying by the seat of your pants. You're playing and following authority or listening to, you having a conversation, listening to your other musicians, okay? All of these drums down here, these are conga drums. They go by different names in different contexts, and to be quite honest, especially when you leave the United States, which, all of y'all, I encourage you to do. You should leave the United States and travel, see the world, learn about the world. Some of you all might, I don't know, there could be some kids from Panama or sitting in the seats, or from Jamaica, I don't even know, or from Puerto Rico someplace, but if that is your family heritage, learn more about it and travel there and go back there and learn about where you come from or where your grandparents came from. All right? But these congas are played all over the Caribbean, all over the West Indies, all over South America. And just like the name says, conga, right? It comes from the Congo in Africa. Yep, the Congo. And one thing about the Congo that people don't really talk about, it gets overshadowed by West Africa when we talk about the Middle Passage and, I don't want to use the word slaves, or we can say human trafficking. That's really what it was. When you think about that whole Middle Passage episode, the majority of our ancestors came, meaning that by that, more than 50% of our ancestors came out of the Congo, the Bantu. And by that, there's not one country, it's not one ethnic group. It's about no less than 5 to 6 countries, ranging from Cameroon, Gabon, the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, which is a big one. Angola is a really big one. And then Mozambique, okay? And so we talk about a lot of different groups of people. But the majority of blacks coming to this continent during slavery, and by that I'm saying from Canada down to Argentina, the whole continent. They came from the Congo, more than 50%. And this drum bears testimony to their name. Yes, sir.
We have to educate the young guys to realize that Africa is not a country, it is a continent that's comprised of various countries. So if you get it mistaken, people say it came from Africa, you didn't come, it's not a country. it's a continent.
Thanks for pointing that out. Africa is a continent of about almost 1 billion people. It's close to 1 billion people in Africa. All right, let's put some numbers behind that. We talk about 1 billion people being in China. Well, if all of Africa was looked at in terms of population, you talk about 1 billion people on the continent of Africa. And country-wise, we're talking about between 52 and 54 countries. And I might be off, but I'm not off by far. You can take that number to the bank. It's about 54 countries in Africa, all right? And
It's gigantic too.
it's huge.
Really
Huge. It's way bigger than the United States. I looked at one long time ago. I looked at a picture of the country of Mozambique in real, like terms of miles in territory compared to the U.S. And just Mozambique, it went from like Maine, which is the farthest north state in the United States. It went from Maine almost all the way down to Florida. It ran the entire eastern seaboard of the United States. And that blew my mind. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. Because if you look at the wrong map, you think Africa is kind of like, you're comparing apples to apples, the same size as the U.S. or smaller or something, and it's a totally different situation. Not getting too far off topic here, these are your conga instruments. Many of these instruments are also played ceremonially, okay? So they have a religious function as well as entertainment. The next instrument I'm gonna show you is a small little instrument, again from Brazil. It's called a tamborim. Here we go. This is a tambourine in Brazil. Actually, don't look like much. This thing is probably the loudest or second loudest instrument in the whole samba school or the whole samba orchestra. And actually, you'll see, I don't know, 30 to 100. Just pick a large number, and you'll see that many people playing just this instrument in a carnival. Just to give you an idea of what it sounds like and how loud it can get. Very loud. And it's a fun instrument too, but it takes a lot of practice. So one thing you definitely want to keep in mind is as you do anything in life, this is a commitment. This is a commitment. So when you go about life being engineers, architects, executives, doctors, lawyers, software engineers, zookeepers,
engineers.
And let me say this: when we talk about careers, we talk about a lot of times, careers via the university route, which is good. That's good. But don't forget and don't overlook the electricians, the carpenters, the truck drivers, the machinists, the roofers, the plumbers. Okay, those are trades. And to be quite honest with you, America was built, this country, this continent was built by people with no college degrees. How was that possible? Because they were bricklayers, they were carpenters, they were electricians, they were plumbers. Okay, so that's another form of education. Okay, so if you want to go to college, go, but along the way, pick up a trade, or just go to trade school and be done with it. But it won't hurt to pick up a trade and go to college. Okay, because that I don't want to I was brought up here to talk about drums. but I was just thinking about this a few days ago, and I got to share this. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine about Compton in South Central Los Angeles, and these are what people think of as black neighborhoods. And they're basically, today, they're almost all Mexican. And I'm not saying that Mexicans should not be there, but I'm simply saying, I wonder what really happened that changed the demographic of the neighborhood. Because Compton ain't going nowhere, it's still there. Geographically, Compton is on the map. And so is South Central Los Angeles. What happened was the population changed. But my question was, why is it possible for someone to come outside and make that home and thrive there? Whereas the black population that was there didn't seem to make it home and stay there and produce businesses. And one of the things that I see is that the Mexicans have a lot of tradesmen. A lot of them are mechanics, they're carpenters, they're electricians, and because of that, they can create a small business and hire somebody and thrive even in South Central or Compton. Just to give the importance to the power of that form of education. So I hope those of y'all that stayed in here heard me. But anyway, so I'm going to show you one more instrument, and then I'm going to get up here and put some hands on some of these skins. The next instrument comes from the island of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. So a couple of things you want to know about this island in particular is that when Christopher Columbus discovers America, right? let's just go with that. Let's just go with that story. We know, we can argue that for days. But what is written in our textbooks about how America was discovered, it was discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1492. So the first Africans coming to the New World on slave ships were taken there. They were taken to the island that's now called the Dominican Republic on the Spanish side first, and then later, about 100 years later, they're taken to what became the French colony of Haiti. Okay? But anyway, this next instrument comes from down there, and is used, it's pretty much the foundation of your merengue music. It's called a tambora. So this is your tambora, and when you look at this drum, you see its cousin all over Africa. The dum-dums, the sambas, the kinkini drums look almost identical to this drum, which again just shows you the connection. And in the Dominican Republic, they play this in one of their folkloric musics that also is a popular music called merengue. Okay, and you know what? You know, out of some of the poorest neighborhoods globally, superstars have been made out of their own, just out of their own culture, their own tradition, music. Not only has it happened here in the U.S., it's happened everywhere. Brazil, Dominican Republic, name a country, Trinidad, Jamaica, name a country, Bahamas, music. Sometimes I feel bad to see that so much emphasis is placed on being a basketball player or football player, and it's almost like it's taking a back seat to music. Well, music is taking a back seat to that. when decades ago, music was a primary vehicle to, and everything don't have to be about money, but music is also healing. It's also for the community. It's also uplifting and spiritual. But decades ago, the music industry was and I would say still is a good way to make a good living. So, any volunteers want to come up and put their hands on some skins? Okay, let me get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's hold off with these 5 right now. I'm gonna call some more up to play with us once we get this foundation down. We're gonna do a rhythm from Brazil. It's called Ijexá. Ijexá is an Afro-Brazilian rhythm. It's played ceremonially, traditionally, and today. It is also played in Brazilian, just popular music, be it jazz or even Brazilian rock. So when you play a hand drum, one thing you want to know is how to make your basic sounds. So I'm gonna ask everybody to grab a chair or pull a chair to a drum. Take this one. Come up here. Yep. Y'all come up front. Form a line. Now, let me just take this one. Come on up this way. If you could come over here, play a drum. You got drums? No? Well, you do not. Okay. Take this one. Sit in front of you. Scoot your chair over a little bit. Over this way a little bit more. Right. Perfect. Okay. Now, a couple of things. When you play drums, right, this is an active process. So we can't, try not to be aware of your body language and your posture. You want to sit on the seat, on the edge of your chair, not sit back in it. Sit on the edge of it, because you're going to need to hold the drum, lock it in place either with your feet, somewhere between your knees and your feet. Kind of like that. Don't tilt it so much, because you're going to have to, it might fall over if you tilt it that much. Stand it straight up a little more. Tilt it, but not that much. Right, a little less. No, stand up a little more than that. Okay. And you'll have to just, hold on to it with your feet and your knees. Keep it from sliding. Now, I want everybody to hold their palm up. Hold up your right palm in front of you like this. There's three basic sounds you gotta know before we get into the drumming. And like I said, this is a commitment, so you might not get this the first lesson. So based on where your hand hits that drum, you're going to either get a bass note, a slap, or a open tone. The bass note is probably the easiest to do. So looking at the rim of the drum. Everybody see the rim of the drum? Yes. All right. What that means is that's going to be our reference point. The rim of the drum in relation to what part of your hand has that striking. So when you have your entire hand on the drum, from the palm, from the bottom of the palm, all the way up, pretty much at that rim, that's going to give you a bass sound, okay? And you got to hit it flush, you got to hit it flat. Right. Right. Good. That's your bass note, okay? And that's the easiest one to do. So your bass note is there. Your open note is the second easiest to do. Okay? So look at it, hold your palm up again. Now, What you're gonna do is you're gonna hit the drum right at about the base of your fingers. Right about here, right. The bottom of your fingers is gonna make contact with the rim of the drum. That's gonna give you an open note or a tone. Right. The only other thing to keep in mind is when you do that tone or open note, your fingers want to be closed. Okay? Keep your fingers closed. So you want to be back a little. Last one, I'm just going to explain to you where your hands should be. It's going to take time. If you got a drum at home, you're going to have to sit with it and practice it. Unless you've already done drumming before. You already, have an idea of how to do it. It's the hardest one to execute. It takes the most practice. It's called a slap. Okay? The slap. So hold your palm up again. So now do this with your hand. Wave. Like bend it like you're waving. See where that bend is in your about the middle of your palm? That's where approximately that's where your hand needs to be to get a slap note. And when you make a slap, it's a sharp sound. It's gonna sound something like this. A sharp sound. That's going to take the most practice, and just have a point of reference in your mind when you're practicing it on your own, okay? Now, what we're going to do is learn this rhythm called EJ Shah, right? EJ Shah, it's got a bell pattern that we all are following the bell. So do I have any volunteers that want to play the bell? Any volunteers for the bell? But remember what I said. Yes, sir. Come on up. Remember what I said about the bell. This is the conductor. It's small. It's not as big as a drum, and it may not be as glorified. But the drummers are all following this. What I'm asking drummers to do is just tap their foot on the ground together though, in unison. This is a conversation. So tap your foot on the ground in unison. Right? What that's going to do is establish your downbeat. Okay? The downbeat is really just our musical floor. Right? That's the floor. That's going to come in handy when you start actually playing the rhythm. So the bells are going to be here. I'm going to break this up in sections.